Hey, this is Paulina on the Finnish Path. Welcome to my weekly reading, Good Advice for the Week to Come. I think I'm tad early this week, just a couple of minutes, but I thought that last time we had some really nice chatting going on, so I thought that perhaps we could start a bit early and then we would have a bit more time to chat. And we already have two people here. Hello, hello. Please say hello. Please let me know who is watching. And from this end, I can tell you that my Luru is already here. He just before I logged on, he came to me saying that, okay, I'm ready. You can start. Now, he knows now that when I come and sit here on my kitchen table and start talking by myself to thin air, he knows that, okay, he's on as well. And if he comes and terrorizes me, then he will perhaps get a little taste of my lipstick, and I won't chase him off because I wouldn't normally do that either. I mean, I love dog kisses, but he knows that I'm at my best behavior in this particular scenario when I'm talking to myself. Here we are. There's Melanie. Hey, Melanie. Hey, darling. And I will pass your hello to Luru as well. And Dinah is there as well. Hey, hey. Terve, Dinah. Hello, ladies. How's it been? Was it a good week? I must say that I really actually took to heart what the cards said last week and tried to, you know, stay confident. Because last week there was a bit of a to do. My car died. Well, actually, the car didn't, but the battery did. It wouldn't start. It was an ancient battery. And it's been really cold here. And my friend Jessica, she came over and she took me to the shops. I live 30 kilometers from the nearest grocery store, so I can't just walk there to get milk. I need a car. So Jessica took care of that for me. I mean, she came all the way over here and took me to the shops and then brought me back. And then on Friday, she and her husband and their children came over and changed the battery for me. And today I was finally able to start my car and I went shopping earlier today. So lots to panic about, but I didn't. I kept my cool. I was really zen. And I thought that, okay, this too shall pass. Let's think about Wheel of Fortune. This is just a bump on the road and it's going to get mended. And it was. It was really painless in the end. Melanie's saying that it was slightly intense for her as well last week. Okay, yes, ready to move on, aren't we all? Well, it wasn't a bad week. Actually, I was kind of proud of myself. I tend to panic. I panic really easily. I mean, I get anxious really easily. I worry about things. Takes me about 5 seconds to get horribly worried about anything at all. So I was really proud of myself for keeping my cool this week. But okay, let's go then. Let's see what the cards are telling us about next week. I'll tilt the camera down so that you can see my cards. Here we go. And as always, I'm using my Pam's Vintage Tarot, and I know that Melanie has this very same deck. We both love it. And as always, I will be drawing 3 cards for next week being Monday the 4th until Sunday the 10th. Is it? Yes, 10th. I will be drawing 3 cards. The first card is stop, something we need to stop doing next week. And the second card is start, what we need to start doing next week. And the third card is continue. That's something we have started earlier, and we need to continue with it. So 3 cards for next week. My deck is pre-shuffled, so we are done. Here we go. First card is stop. Okay. 6 of Swords. Last week we got 8 of Swords here on the stop position. I usually don't remember my readings, but for some reason I remember that. Right. And then start. Ah, King of Pentacles. Okay. And then continue. Okay. This looks scary, but don't worry. We need to continue. This is death. Right. There we go. These are good cards. I know these might seem a little worrying at first, but these are good cards, in fact. We have 1 major arcana card and then 2 minor arcana cards. So next week, it's not going to be life-altering. It's about everyday, occurrences next week. Because this is something we have already started. Okay. And we have Swords and Pentacles. Pentacles is everyday life. It's the day-to-day. It's, oh, sorry, that's Lulu. He's being restless for some reason, and now he came over and he's trying to kiss me. Excuse me. I need to talk to my dog for a moment and avoid his kisses. Okay, back to the cards. Pentacles, their everyday life. The element is earth. They are about home and business and physical aspects like our health, physical health, things like that. And then Swords, that's about thought and intellect. It can also be about challenges. The element here is air. Okay, let's do this one by one. Here we go. 6 of Swords. 6s are about, they are about stability. It's an even number. But they are specifically about communication. And looking at this picture, it's kind of self-evident what's going on here. These people are emigrating. Now, we talked about this, like, I think perhaps a week ago or something like that. We talked about this card in a group that both Melanie and I are in. We talked about this card and what it actually means. And for me, this is something, this is not fleeing from a situation. So yeah, these people might be emigrating, but they are moving away from something because that something has been done. They have done it, they've been successful, now they need to move on, but they wouldn't necessarily want to leave that thing um, they have achieved. So there is regret here in moving on. But still, it is a necessary move. Okay, now let's think about this. This is in stop position. So, no, I don't think this is about that we need to stop moving on. No, no, it's not that. I think it is the regret part we need to stop. We need to stop. I'm looking for words here. We need to stop feeling reluctant to move on. There are so many things that we have been doing last year, so many things we have achieved. And could it be that it's difficult for us now to let them go, stop kind of nitpicking them? They are done and dusted. And as much as we enjoyed doing them, it really is time to move on. Because we can't keep doing old stuff that's actually already done. Otherwise, we don't have room for new things. And leaving those things behind is not easy. It has not been easy. And perhaps we are still wallowing in kind of regret. Perhaps we are still kind of in the back of our minds thinking about those old things, those past things, past actions. And perhaps we don't somehow, we haven't been able to kind of forgive ourselves for moving on, because we have moved on in many different ways. But are we still hanging on to kind of the guilt of it? Are we perhaps stuck in nostalgia even? Yeah, this is very interesting. Then moving on to start. Now we have the King of Pentacles here. King of Pentacles, he's like a company CEO. The kings are like that. They are not the managers anymore. They own the whole company. They are the CEO. They are responsible for everything that goes on there. But they don't do it all themselves. They make sure that their employees are able to do their work. That's what the kings are. They are enablers in a way. That's what a good CEO is. A good boss is an enabler, someone who makes sure that the people who do the actual work are able to do their work. That's up to the boss. That's up to the CEO. And being Pentacles, this king is all about the practical stuff, the actual manual doing of things. He knows every single little detail that happens in his company. He can do it all himself. I mean, he could go to an intern and show them how to use a hammer, but he doesn't, because he's the CEO. He's the one who's responsible for the fact that there is an intern and that there is a hammer in the company. And this is what we need to start. Have we perhaps been micromanaging our own life? We do need to take responsibility for everything that happens in our own domestic life, also in our business, in our work life. We are responsible for that. But do we need to do every little single thing ourselves? There are other people there. This is actually, I'm still thinking about the 6 here being communication. I think these two together, yeah, perhaps we should open up more to the people around us, to the people who are doing things that affect our life. Instead of closing in like these people sitting in this boat, we should open up and communicate more. Otherwise, we are going to be stuck in this feeling of regret and nostalgia. Okay, these two cards are feeding off of each other, apparently. But yes, we need to be able to rise above the everyday life to see it from a perspective so that we can see the whole workings. We can see how everything works together. We need to stop looking at the small details and look at the big picture instead. How the different aspects of our lives impact each other, how they play off of each other. And are they perhaps in balance? That's an important part, keeping your life in balance, making sure that you don't focus too much on just one aspect of your life. I'm still talking about everyday life, the day-to-day thing. Okay. And then the dreaded death card. Continue. Death is a scary card, not because it means that someone is going to die. No, that's not actually it can mean that, but it very, very seldom does. What death really tells us about is change. It's about external change, change of circumstances. And that is shocking. Always, at least for me. I'm really not good with change. So when the circumstances change, something around me, my environment somehow changes, then that means that I have to readjust myself. I have to get used to, I have to accept the change and I have to get used to it again. I have to find a new way to operate in this new situation. And that's difficult. It's really difficult for me. And I don't like doing it. But this is something I have been doing. And actually, thinking about last year, a lot has changed for all of us, I'm sure. Our circumstances have changed. I mean, our external situation, things around us, things in our life have changed. Perhaps some of us might have moved even, not because we wanted to, but because we had to. or we might have changed employment, or something like this. We had to find a new job. We couldn't stay in the old job for whatever reason. That kind of change. And we have already started this. We have already started getting accustomed to these big, shocking changes. And this is what we need to continue. We need to continue looking for a firm footing and building new routines in our life. Okay, interesting. I'll tilt the camera up again. There you are. Oh, and we have comments. Let me check the comments. Diana is saying that this too shall pass. Exactly. Diana is saying that she had different week. Yesterday was bad and weird, but she kept her coolness. Good for you, Diana. I know this lady. She's tough, but she's not always the coolest customer in the world. She can be kind of fiery. She's saying our week has been mostly waiting things to happen and doing stuff that has been waiting long time to be done. Oh yeah, I hear ya. Like changing batteries to remote control. Yeah, when you get a really, good, comfortable position on your sofa, that's when the batteries die on your remote. Yeah, that's the way it goes. So we got Six of Swords, King of Pentacles, and Death. It seems to me that perhaps we have let ourselves to be lulled into this sense of, okay, now the change is over and we have, we came through it and it's all done. No, more needs to be done. We need to settle down better in these new circumstances. There's still things that are not quite in the right place, and we need to continue with the readjustments that we have been doing. And this is actually, since this is Major Arcana card, this is imperative. I still have this feeling that this year is going to pick up speed really quickly. And when it does, we won't have time to get accustomed to anything. We just need to motor on and we need to do things, tick things off one by one. So this needs to be done now when there is still time, when we have the time to do it, because it takes a lot of effort from us, getting readjusted to a new situation, finding your footing all over again. That takes a lot of energy, and it can mean that we need to change from within as well. We need to start viewing our world in a different way. So let's look at what this king is saying. Let's look at the bigger picture of our life. Let's make sure that everything is running smoothly. And when we realize there is a kink somewhere, then let's fix it. Because sooner or later, we won't have the time to do that or the energy to do that anymore. So that needs to be done now. And one thing we do need to stop is feeling regret for things past. That's in the past now. And whether we were successful or not, it's done and dusted. So moving on, moving ahead, we have all our tools with us in this boat. So we are good to go. Yeah. Letting go of the past, readjusting to the future, or actually the present, the way things really are now, and looking at the bigger picture. That's our next week. And the good news is that's the king. He knows his stuff, and so do we. When we look at the bigger picture of our life, we'll know. We'll know what needs to be done. Okay. I also am really happy that this is in continue position, this card. Because if it had been the other way around, like this, it would mean that this is something that is happening now, and we would have to start from scratch. We don't. It's been happening for a while. And we just need to finish what we have already started. Oh, wow. Okay, that's next week. How do you feel about that? Because I'm fine with it. And this is in line with what we have been told before. It's a continuum, if you like. It's not looking bad at all. Oh, there is a new person there, Bunny. Hey, Bunny, welcome, welcome. And Bunny's saying, I love this so much. Thank you. I needed to hear this especially today. Okay. And it's weird because these cards came out for me in a little reading I did for myself before I left the house this morning. What, these same cards? Okay. Well, you certainly did need to hear this again. Cards can be like that. Hmm. You're welcome, Melanie. This is good news, yeah. On that note, Melanie's saying, I'm going to finish what I started. Yeah. Busy week ahead, absolutely. Yeah, Bunny got these very same cards. Was it this morning? Yeah, this morning. Okay, I hope you are paying attention now then, Bunny. Yeah, but this is for all of us. This reading, not just Bunny, but apparently this is kind of imperative. And I do have this really strong feeling of urgency. I've been having it all year. All year. We are 1 month down, but I've had it since New Year. That this is just kind of calm before the storm. And with a storm, I don't mean catastrophe, not kind of tower kind of a storm moment, but the things are going to get faster. This year is like a downhill slope. It starts off from the top really slowly, and then it starts picking up speed. Perhaps we are going to do some ski jumping. Okay, there's a thought. Yeah, but we'll be fine. Oh, yes, Bunny, you better. Mm. We all better. But yes, it's going to be a busy week, but I think the king is saying that it's not necessarily going to be a busy week actively doing things, but rather making sure everything is being done. Everything is, rolling smoothly. Yeah. Next week, no regrets. What's done is done, and that's it. Okay. Wow, this was really nice. Okay, I'm happy with these cards. And as always, I will write this down in my blog so that if you like to see it written down, you can find it there. And you can subscribe to my blog by entering your email address, and then you will be notified whenever I post anything new. Or if I'm talking to people who are not present at the moment, but follow this on YouTube, you subscribe. So if you feel that you would benefit from a reading like this, then you can find this reading, Stop, Start, Continue, in my web shop, and you can order it through there. But